So, are you bearish right now? Is the market bearish right now? Why is there a reason to be bearish? Because the Trump new coin called LibertyFi, his DeFi coin, has just launched and it's not doing well. If a Trump coin can't even pump, right, in such kind of market conditions, then maybe you think it would be time to be bearish, right? Today, we're going to look at why the market is down, continues to be down. Look at this. This is the weekly chart of Bitcoin, right? Not performing all that well, right? So, the thing is, there's a good explanation for why the World Liberty coin, right, Trump's coin, is down. And it's not exactly because the market is bearish. First of all, let's look at the action on Bitcoin because, the US stock market is still closed on the Monday. And here it is. We can see that the weekly close was pretty bad. Weekly close was pretty bad. And as I was saying, we're probably going to get, at best, a wick down through this key support area and bounce up. If we get like a weekly close or a couple of daily closes below this 107.4K area, that's pretty bad, right? So because on the daily, we've had, might call this a bottoming tail. You might. And look at where we are here today. So now we've spent 1, 2, 3 days tapping, knocking at this 107.4K area. And this was the area that I named all along, right? Saying, I didn't think things were going to be that bad, right? But if it got to be that bad, then this is where we're going to go. This is where we're going to go, right? For at least we should get a big bounce for support here. So there are 3 reasons that nobody's talking about of why the market is reacting so badly right now. As we know, the market is all about liquidity. What if I told you money is going elsewhere and leaving crypto? And people are like, oh, well, where are they going? Well, we all know they're leaving Bitcoin to go into ETH, right? They're leaving Bitcoin to go into ETH. I mean, first of all, it's so obvious that ETH is performing so much better. But the problem is people forget that you can't have Ethereum pump. Like ETH is just actually, made a new high and it's actually hasn't made a new low yet. It's actually not doing too bad at all. But the people forget that you can't make cryptos run with just ETH running and Bitcoin tanking. So people will have to forget not to sell all their Bitcoins just yet. So for one thing, we already know, we've seen it on chain that that people are selling Bitcoin, major whales from even 10, 12, 7, 14 years ago, selling that Bitcoin to buy Ethereum. Can you believe it? That's one thing that's taking down Bitcoin. What's another? And we can literally see it here, right? Like this was what I explained to you guys before. The whale was just one example, selling 1,000 Bitcoin, 1,000 Bitcoin, selling 1,000 Bitcoin, buying 10,500 ETH, right? $46 million of ETH, buying 4,500 ETH, which is 20 million, right? 27 million, 23 million. I've gone through this example with you guys already. But what are some other reasons? What are some other reasons why this is happening? So that's giving you guys an update on another major reason. So basically, this thing has also been attracting money from crypto. What is this? Believe it or not, it's the Hang Seng Tech Index, right? Which is the Hong Kong China Stocks Tech Index. I've said this about a million times now. I don't know if sinking in with guys who are in my Discord or who watch my videos. So you basically have some, like half of the crypto world is made up of China. Basically, Binance, TRX chain, with CZ and Justin Sun. These are all Chinese guys. And even Crypto.com, the coin that Trump's making the deal in, they started, right? Their founder started working in Hong Kong. The FTX founder SBF, they started FTX chain with exchange in Hong Kong, right? So basically, when Hong Kong index is popping and making a bull move, everybody runs back to the Hong Kong index. Look at this, right? This is the kind of moves it's been making for the last couple of years, right? The entire stock market has more than doubled, right? It's more than doubled here. Boom, look at this, right? and we're right on the edge of popping above here. This is where the high was just before the tariff crash. If this goes above here, then it could even get more people, right, with Chinese background to leave crypto and basically sell part of their crypto portfolio and head back to the Hong Kong Hang Seng Index or Hang Seng Tech Index, right? And it's still got a lot of room to go, So I'll put it on a normal chart for stocks. And so bull market is starting right here. What's another reason? And today we're going to go and talk about why the Trump coin is not performing well on launch and how he can fix it. It's actually a simple problem. But before we answer those questions, first let's answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo Jimenez use? Well, Pablo uses this exchange that's non-KYC. That means you don't need to show any ID. That means the exchange can't even see who you are. That's why I made this great deal with them, because that means the IRS can't see you. The tax office can't see you. FBI, CIA, nobody can see you, right? So on this great competition, just under the Pablo link, you get a chance to win weekly, not monthly, but weekly prizes of up to $25,000 every week, right? So we can see here, basically there are prizes like up to 2,000, 4,000, 8,000, 15,000, 25,000 US dollars every week, right? Even if you're just in the top 60, you get a prize, right, by trading. And it's from your trading volume. It's from your just by trading volume. Or in the top 10, you get prizes, right, from trading P&L, profit and losses. So this is limited time only. This deal finishes on September the 12th. And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, then the link is in the description below. But if you're watching this on any other platform, such as this one, then that's okay. Just click on my profile page, and there is my link tree or Stan link. Right, we click on that and it should be the first deal that pops up because this is a great deal. Okay, let's get back to the markets, folks. But just remember, this deal is only on the Pablo Jimenez link, One more reason why crypto is down right now, right? Even though our stocks are not, they're pretty much still at new all-time highs, right? One, because the Chinese money a lot of it has been drawn back to Hang Seng Tech Index. Okay, one other reason should be pretty obvious. Look at this. Gold up almost 1%. Silver up 2.5% above $40 now. Platinum up 5% today. And people are like, oh, what does that mean? Well, you do realize that Bitcoin calls itself digital gold, right? Digital gold. So that means the people buying it are hedging inflation or government abuse of fiat currency, which means they buy gold, as well as some traders would buy gold, silver, and even platinum, as well as a Bitcoin. So therefore, when gold is making a run like this is a weekly chart, by the way. We've had this topping tail, right? And now we're about to close. We closed above this topping tail on the weekly, and now if we close above this topping tail on the daily, give it 2 days. If we can top 34.97. If we can top, let's call it 3,500 for 2 days in a row, then that confirms the breakout, and this could go for a run to 3,800, 4,000. That's going to take money away from Bitcoin. But don't worry, folks, because as I've shown you guys a number of times on these charts, when usually gold runs up first and then Bitcoin follows a couple of weeks later. Gold runs up first, Bitcoin follows. Gold up runs first, then Bitcoin follows, right? So I've shown you guys that chart plenty of times, right? Let's just move on to what we really want to talk about today, which is the launch of Liquidity. So people might be thinking, oh, the market is so bad, even the president's coins are crashing. So I told folks how to buy this coin on spot, right? Basically, how to buy it on these exchanges using spot, right? And what I said was, here's Bitunix, for example. They listed Liquidity, not to use 20x, but drop that, click on that and drop that to 1x. That means you're buying it on spot. You're not using much leverage. And basically then, right, the theoretically, in theory, the exchanges can't shake you out. So we got in around here. I was talking about around 20, 21, 22, and had a pretty good run, almost a 2x to 40, and then it just came down. Why is that? Why is this not happening? Is it because the market is so bearish that even the president's coin cannot pump? It's not. That's not the reason. I'll show you guys what the reason is. The reason is because the market is reacting to this. By the way, I want to show you guys this. A couple of hours ago, some whale sent like 11 million coins from their wallet of Liquidity to Binance. And then they sent another 26 million of their coins to this BitGo, right? These other exchanges, right? You don't send it to exchanges unless you want to dump. This was another instance of them sending it to an exchange, right? So this guy sent what? 3 mil, 5 mil, so that's 8 mil. That's about 16 mil. 16 mil to these exchanges. Why is that? The reason is this. Remember how in Pablo's video about 2 days ago, I told you guys that from what I calculated, the supply was around 5 billion. The market cap, the circulating supply was going to be around 5 billion. So and basically it's like this. There are 100 billion altogether of World Liberty Fi, which is the Trump coin. 25 billion of which is basically market from the retail buyers, right? Look at my hand. Out of the 5 billion, 25 billion, only 5 billion will be unlocked, which is 5 billion out of 25 is one out of 5, right? 1 out of 5. So that's 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 billion that will be released. So basically, out of the entire 100 billion, only 5 billion will be unlocked. But look what's happened. Trump obviously has no idea about blockchain, and he's running America and the entire Western world. So he doesn't have any time. He doesn't have any time to bother around to learn how blockchain works. But his sons are running it, and his sons are not geniuses. So this is what they have done. Can you read this? They've made a very simple mistake that every blockchain new project knows to avoid. It's called pumponomics. You know, economics, when you pump something, called pumponomics. And they don't know how to do pumponomics, which is keep the market cap low, keep the circulating supply low. So here it is. Here's the 4 billion tokens that's public. 4 billion tokens that is public, right? As I predicted. Then there should be 1 billion more, but they've unlocked all these coins. But don't panic. I'm going to show you this is a mistake by them. Why? So for example, here's 7.78 billion coins allocated to Alt5 Sigma Corporation. What's Sigma Corporation? It stands for, its symbol is ALTS. It stands for alts, altcoins, alts. It's listed on the NASDAQ. It's basically a treasury company that just buys World Liberty Fi and accumulates. What does that mean? Think of it as it's exactly like MicroStrategy. It's exactly like MetaPlanet, but instead of buying Bitcoin, they buy World Liberty Fi, right? And the whole point of it being a treasury company for crypto, in this case, World Liberty Fi, is that it just accumulates and never sells. Never sells unless it's forced to sell because it can't pay back its debt or whatever. So therefore, that 7.8 billion coins, or 8% of total supply, is actually locked. It's actually locked. Officially, it's actually locked. The almost 100% can't sell it. That's called a 99.999% they can't sell it. It'd be like if MicroStrategy started selling Bitcoins. What would Michael Saylor say then, right? They need to lock this. They need to lock this and put it on an unlock schedule, like 5 years from now, 3 years from now. They haven't done that. That's the first thing you do. It's just so dumb. It's dumb. They just don't understand blockchain. They're real estate developers from New York, okay? Here, 10 billion coins unlocked, that's 10%. ecosystem portion for World Liberty Financial, World Liberty Fi. Hello, you should lock this and put it on a vesting schedule. You know what a vesting schedule is? Basically, like you go 10 billion. Every month we unlock, like, say, $500 million, right? So it takes 20 months to lock 10 billion, right? So 20 months from now, that would be what? Like 2027, 10 billion will be out. Why do you do that? Because it's for this ecosystem. What does that mean? That means, let's say if someone wanted to build a DEX, someone wanted to build a staking protocol, someone wanted to build a naming ID service, right? Like ENS, whatever the ecosystem is. Someone wanted to do a hackathon. You provide rewards or funding for people who want to build on your chain. That's what an ecosystem portion is, right? But you're not obviously not going to spend that 10 billion coins, sell it to the market and spend those 10 billion coins right away. Nobody does that. You obviously unlock it at $500 million per month or 1 billion per month, depends on how quickly you want to do this. And obviously the weight, then every month you've got a war chest so you can spend $500 million, up to $500 million or up to $1 billion coins every month, and you can give it to this project that's building a DEX, that project that's building a staking protocol, that project that's building a restaking protocol, whatever, right? This needs to be locked and put on a vesting schedule as well. And that's what everybody does. It's called pumponomics, where you have high FDV. The FDV is 100 billion of these tokens, but the market cap is only 5 billion of these tokens. It's super small, right? Very high FDV, but very small market cap. So it can pump. That's why it's called pumponomics, right? Okay. So 2.9 billion here, almost 3% here for liquidity and marketing purposes. Well, for liquidity, yeah, you can put say $1 billion of that into liquidity, and 1 billion plus 4 billion is 5 billion. 5 billion, as I had calculated. You put the other 1.9 billion into marketing purposes. But of course, marketing, you're not going to throw all those coins straight away into marketing today, right? So therefore, you put it on a vesting schedule. Again, you say, well, every month we'll unlock, say, 100 million of these coins, right? 100 million of these coins. And you use that to pay for ads, pay for KOLs, influencers, whatever. And that means over the next 19 months, you unlock all of this, which is 1.9 billion over the next 19 months. And once again, that'll take you into 2027, right? So that means you have 5 billion coins upfront rather than 25 billion coins upfront right now. And you unlock this slowly over time. That's how pumponomics work. The Trump's sons, they're not stable geniuses, are they? They just don't understand simple math or pumponomics like this. That's how everybody does it. They just don't understand it. They're New York property developers. Okay, it's a steep learning curve for them, but I'm sure they've learned their lesson now. And I think, I can't guarantee this, but I think they will do it. They will start locking some of this and put on a vesting schedule because they want their coin to go up. So let's get back to brass tacks, right? Bottoming tail here, as we're talking, bottoming tail. This could be the place to enter, 23, 24 cents, right? If they come out with the news of saying, oh, we've locked some of those coins on a vesting schedule, then boom, we're going to see this coin take off. Because if they do that, then the real market cap of this coin right now would be at 1.25 billion, right? It would be at 1.25 billion. The market cap of Trump's company, DeFi coin, is at 1.25 billion. Come on, the XRP is at 300 billion FDV or 220 billion market cap. Come on, right? It makes perfect sense. And of course, because of this, Block has also gone down. Now, Block, as I've been telling folks, right, it basically, I told folks around this 13 cents area, around here, 12.5, 13 cents area, right? It went up to 21 cents, right? Like an 80% run. And now it's come down because because what we just saw, because that won't Libertyfy has gone down. But this is another Trump coin. So I've explained this block a number of times. I'm going to repeat it. So the support is very strong here at 10 cents or 10 and a half cents, let's call it. Why? Because one, you have these bottoms here, right? And two, because this is inside this descending channel or bull flag. So the way I see it, this is flagpole, bull flag, and we bounce from this 10 and a half cents and boom, up we go. And what is another coin that is associated with Trump? If you've been watching Pablo's videos, then you know that Trump is using B or build on to pump his USD1 coins, So, and how's this coin been doing? How is this coin been doing? Near all-time highs, So this is basically the chart. So basically Pablo called it around here, right? We've gone inside my Discord, we've gone boom, up, right? Made a 3 or 4x, and then boom, up, and then boom, new all-time highs, and we're holding at new all-time highs. This is the meme coin they use to pump USD1. USD1, the Trump stable coin, is basically the only product that's inside World Libertyfy right now, but it could be huge. Could challenge USDC or even USDT if Trump can live long enough. You know what I mean? He's got swelling on his hands, on his feet. If he can live long enough. So yeah, basically we just need more Libertyfy to pump, then block pumps and B build on pumps, and yeah, I think this is the low point for this entire Trump ecosystem. I think as soon as they fix up those problems, these coins should do well. Okay, thank you for your time, guys. Catch you next episode.